Assalamualaikum and salam satu Malaysia. Welcome to all entrepreneurship students. My name is Abdul Qadir bin Othman. It is expected by the end of this video, you should be able to identify some important characteristics of successful entrepreneurs, define the concept of creativity and innovation, explain 4 main phases in the creative process, describe 4 basic types of innovation, and discuss the barriers to creativity and innovation. Okay, allow me now to discuss with you each of the characteristics most commonly associated with successful entrepreneurs: initiative and responsibility. Effective entrepreneurs actively take initiative, and entrepreneurs always feel a personal responsibility for the outcome of ventures in which they are associated with. High degree of commitment. Entrepreneurs' commitments to their ventures determine how successful those ventures ultimately become. Opportunity orientation. Entrepreneurs focus and start on opportunities rather on resource, structure, or even strategy. Creative and innovative. Creativity and innovativeness are important for entrepreneurs to gain a competitive advantage in their venture. Skill in organizing. Entrepreneurs are able to organize their resources in an effective way so as to transform their visions into reality. Flexibility. Entrepreneurs are not rigid in their venture. They are flexible and have the ability to adapt the changing demand of their customers and ventures. We have just discussed some characteristics of entrepreneurs. Among these characteristics, we talk about creativity and innovation. So what is creativity? According to Sternberg, Kaufman, and Press, creativity is the ability to produce work that is original, high in quality, and the most important thing is appropriate. On the other hand, Knicken Wilhelm defined innovation as finding ways to deliver new or better goods or services. Do you see the difference? Creativity is about being original. Innovation is about improving what is already there. Let's now discuss the process of creativity. There are 4 main phases or steps in the creative process according to Kuratko and Hodgetts. The knowledge accumulation phase, where an individual must be ready to gather all information via reading, discussion, attending seminars, and etc. The incubation phase, where an individual tries to get rid of problems and allow their subconscious mind to work on it. The idea generation phase, where the solution for the existing problem is finally found. And finally, the evaluation and implementation phase, where an individual transforms the idea into reality. Now let's look at the barriers of creativity. What are the elements that hinder creativity? Barrier number 1 is personal belief. The main thing that hinders creative thinking is our belief that we are not creative. Barrier number 2 is fear of criticism. Some people are afraid people will say their ideas are crazy, foolish, or even impractical. Barrier number 3 is overmanagement. This might be caused by a hectic working environment that does not provide space for workers to be creative. And barrier number 4 is stress. This happens when people feel that they are facing extraordinary demands, constraints, or opportunities that are uncertain. Now let's take a look at some of the barriers of the innovation process. Sometimes, organizations do not encourage innovation. Some organizations are comfortable with the current status quo and refuse to change. Insufficient resources. This is a situation where organizations are keen to change and innovate, but are let down by insufficient resources. And it could be that the organizations are adopting traditional management behavior that maintain traditional ways of thinking and resist change. Let's now move on to discuss the 4 types of innovation. The first one is invention, which is the act of creating a new product, service, or process that is totally novel in nature. For example, the invention of the telegraph by Samuel Morse. The second one is extension, which is the expansion to existing product lines, services, or processes. For instance, Samsung extending its electric and electronic business to automobiles. The third one is duplication, which is the process of replication of existing product, service, or process. For example, several extra functions such as MMS and WAP services added to the basic functions of the mobile phone. And finally, synthesis, which is the process of combining separate parts into a new whole formulation or application. For instance, the combination of computer and network technologies has produced the Internet. To end this video session, let's summarize what we have learned in this video. The topic examines the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs and define the concepts of creativity and innovation. In addition, 4 main phases in the creative processes and the 4 basic types of innovation are presented to provide better insight on creativity and innovation. Finally, the barriers to creativity and innovation were discussed in great length. Thank you and best wishes.